So this is like a lot of these wallpapers come from this folder I have on my computer called just Alex Wallpapers. I also have like what are they called? I have another folder on my personal like a subfolder that's called Nostalgia Pics, and a lot of it's just like memes, but also memes that I took from college that I have like lasted a test of time.
I just like that you have a folder that's just called Alex Wallpapers, as if there's somebody. It's like Nicholas is like, Dad, keep your wallpapers in their own folder. Do you and Erica have separate accounts?
Oh, like profiles when you log in?
Yeah.
No, it's just a single one on this computer. And I have my own folder on this, and then she has her own on it also, but she doesn't really do that much on this one.
Why doesn't she have her own profile?
I just don't have it set up that way. I just never really did that. So she doesn't know where my is. That's fine. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay, bro.
She has her own laptop anyways, but she's kind of getting at that phase where she's like, I need a new laptop. Mine is so slow. I'm like, well, I'd love to build you your own laptop, but the problem with that is that
shouldn't the university subsidize her new laptop?
No.
Okay.
No, they won't.
Well, I am. My mother is in the.
And she's not buying a Mac.
Okay, where did that come from? Nobody accused your wife of buying a Mac. I mean, it's going to be okay.
No, you can there's like program like on campus you can get like a deal. But the problem with academia is that they're so heavily entrenched in Mac. But the problem is that there's only certain units in universities that use Mac stuff. So people will like with maybe like communications, media, any type of like the creative arts use that. But then everybody else, like 80% of everybody else that uses classes on campus use stuff that's basically Windows based. But all the students just are so entrenched already in the pipeline to be getting Macs. So it kind of sucks.
So my mom is in the market for a laptop because she had been using the laptop from school, and now that she's retired, she had to turn it in. So she needs a computer, and so she wants me to go with her to Best Buy on Saturday to pick one out.
Ooh.
And I think
when was the last time you were in one?
I think the last time I visited you, because I got there early. And so I wandered around the Best Buy over in town before I was like, I got there like really early, and I don't like being arriving early and unannounced. And so I went to Binny's, and then I went to Best Buy and wandered around and filled up the time. Anyway, this is the laptop that I think that I'm going to recommend for my mother. It's
16 gigs. Okay.
Core i7. $300 off HP.
Yeah.
My mom's going to have a better computer than me, but that's fine. That's fine.
You know, it's crazy how in this day and age, there are so many laptops that have a base 8 gigs of RAM. And all
my mom's going to use it for is anything she can do in Chrome, basically.
Yeah.
I do think it's amazing. I saw this when I was looking today. Under $200. It's not a good computer by any stretch, but if you have no other option to have access to a computer, it'll
fine.
It'll get you online.
It's manageable.
Yeah, manageable.
Which basically I feel like most people that have laptops kind of just need to do something online, whatever they do. The biggest thing also, like I've noticed also, apart from laptops, is that like desktop, like pre-built desktops, there are so many that have they have like 8 gigs of RAM, and then they have a 512 gig SSD, and then maybe like a 1 terabyte hard drive. And I'm just like, get rid of the hard drive, give me a full terabyte of, SSD. Doesn't even have to be NVMe or anything like that. It's just a regular 2.5, 2.3, whatever. inch sized SSD, and then maybe bump it up to like 16.
Okay, so in 2007, ASUS EeePC 4G, which for the long time viewers will remember, we did a review of on Gray Box. What was that? Oh my god, what was the name of
Sounds like Gray Box. I
what was
don't
the
think
name
we
of
did
that
any other type of...
was that the name of the show? Was Gray Box TV? Subpixel.
The other thing is that there is an Intel 630 megahertz mobile processor, a Celeron processor, which is more than enough horsepower to run things like Microsoft Office, Firefox, and in fact, Photoshop CS2 runs pretty well on this thing.
Subpixel.
On Subpixel, we did review of this computer. In 2007, this computer was $399. It had an 8-inch screen, 7-inch screen,
7.
Linux variant on Anthros Linux, and mobile CPU, 512 megabytes of RAM, 4 gig solid state flash drive.
4 gigs of solid state. Wow.
That was this was a revelation. $399 for this was amazing at the time. And I actually, 1 second.
Oh, he's got the museum piece. Or something close. Or something from the time.
No, it's plugged in. Jesus Christ. I can still run Windows XP on it. There it is.
Look at that.
The old little baby computer.
Wow.
Tiny, is a little dusty.
That's taking you back. I remember my dad had he had some sort of like laptop. I don't know what it was back in the 90s. But what always fascinated me about it is that the screen was black and all the text was and symbols was orange. It was some sort of like weird...
a ThinkPad?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
ThinkPad. Did it have the little nub
red
in the middle?
Dot. Yeah, the red nubby.
Yeah, it was a thing. ThinkPad.
Yeah, and I always thought, I was like, wow, that's like Halloween colors. That's so cool looking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a chunky boy too.
Considering
the time period, it was
a thick boy. I mean, you could fit it in your bag still, you know.
Yeah.
And I think,
what does it weigh about? What's the weight? Does it feel like? Is it like a
3 to 5,
like an AR with or without a mag?
I'd say 3 to 5 pounds.
Okay, less.
Oh, apparently this is saying 2.5 pounds. I guess, I don't know. I think that's a little light. I'd still say 3. I don't know.
With or without the battery?
I'm just very weak, so it's 5 pounds.
It's 5 pounds. It's a heavy pound.
It had a VGA.
What's heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers? That's right, a kilogram of steel.
You could use it as a desktop. I don't know. Whatever. It was a good time.
You could. I mean, what's great about a lot of that old technology and stuff like that, it's just you could, once it's kind of past, once it's no longer, usable for the majority of people and stuff, they're just fun, just messing around and playing with and seeing what you can and can't do, like stressing limitations of that.
I'm pretty sure this is still this. So this you used to be able. So the internal was 4 gigs, right? Mm-hmm. And then you could also boot from an SSD or an SSD, a micro or a
micro.
What's this called?
SRAM micro.
What were these called? SD card?
Micro SDs.
Right. No, micro SD is smaller.
Mini SDs?
No, this is just an SD card.
Oh, just an SD. Okay.
Wow. We are so old that we forgot even what we knew. Yeah, but anyway, you could boot from one of these cards, and I think I had Ubuntu 6 is what's on this. Ubuntu 7. Anyway.
Trip down memory.
Thanks for coming to Weird Computer Corner thing.
No, this was the tech version of Antiques Roadshow.
There we go. I'm afraid that this EPC is a fake. It's a reproduction.
I still have my my Vio in my closet, and I like to fire it up every once in a blue moon.
Do you
just
still
to see
have,
how long it takes to boot up.
Do you still have Millennium Edition on that bad boy?
Yeah, I never changed anything about that. Like any type of maybe like, I don't know, they didn't do updates like that online. Because they didn't start doing that stuff until like XP, right?
That was an XP thing.
And you had to, it was a physical, or was it online?
No, it was online.
It was online.
There was an online updater for that.
Yeah, so it's basically just like vanilla Millennium Edition and stuff, but it still boots up. You know, the problem is there's no Wi-Fi card for it, so I had to use like a Ethernet card and then connect that.
Nothing would be compatible with the browsers that work on it anyway.
Yeah. It's basically, it's fine just putzing around and keeping it as like a self-contained offline type
you could play some classic Windows games
Spider
on it.
Solitaire.
No. Like you could play original Half-Life on it.
Yeah, I could play. I was able to play original Tropico, Unreal Tournament. I played. What else did I play on that thing? Not Sims. I couldn't do Sims. What is it? Civilization Call to Power. What else did I have on that thing?
Did it have
MechWarrior 4? I played the shit out of that.
Did it have like VGA out on it?
I think so. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I never really took a look at what was on. You know.
Well, I'm just saying you could run that to a monitor now, and you'd have a little classic gaming computer. I definitely in the future would like to build a Windows 95 gaming PC.
Oh, like LJS. Oh, LGR.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of
Sorry,
the Nintendo company, which is
LJN.
LJN. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. No, LGR. Yeah. No, he kind of does. It's
there's a million.
It's like
people.
a hobby type of thing.
There's a million.
Yeah, or just anybody. He's the only one that came to my mind.
Speaking of boomers, Alex.
Yes.
I was visiting my mother a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, like a good son.
I was with her and my
good son, Brendan,
and an aunt, a great aunt, really. And I realized something that has been going on forever, and you may possibly fall into this group too, but I'm curious.
Probably.
I'm curious about this. You have certain boomer mannerisms also.
Or I know boomers.
Or you know boomers.
I'm related to some.
Boomers always want to fight with the GPS. Like by GPS I mean Google Maps or Apple Maps or your Garmin or whatever. But they always kind of are resentful of how they're being told to travel. Mm-hmm. And they want to fight with what the GPS is telling them to do.
It's the new version of how like there's the archetype of the dad who doesn't want to stop and ask for directions
yeah.
or we have a map tucked in between the visor of the car and we never ever pull it out and it's in pristine crisp condition. The seals have never been cracked open and stuff at the bends. It is funny because it's also like, well, I have to get someplace and it's telling me to go this direction, this condescending woman's voice, because that's how they all sound. I've never heard like a guy version on a GPS thing. But it's
Liz
like
has one.
Oh, poor Liz. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I know this route. If I can go this way, then I can avoid that, even though it's telling me to go this. But yeah, it's I think it's just another form of like older generations having issues with technology or how to operate it. I don't know about how your mom does it, but my parents, when you have like the remote and they have to hold the remote up like this.
No, my mom does not
like do holding this with like going like that. I'm like, the remote is not this massive. It's not huge. It's a handheld thing, and they've gotten smaller with time. So I'm like, why are they? So that whole thing and stuff like that.
Busted.
No, it's Nicholas. I think he'll settle down in a second here.
Well, my mom does not do that with the remote control for the television. She is one of the moms who, like, when I'm texting with two thumbs, she looks at me and she's like, how do you do that? I'm just like, what do you mean? It's just like I'm typing. And she's like, no, one finger. Just like, ba, 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 ba. It's like, I didn't do that when I had, like, the old T9 phones, little flip phones. It was still two thumbs.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to do it with. Did I do it with the old ones? I think I had to. It was the kind where you had to hit the button like 2 or 3 times if you wanted to move on to the next letter.
Okay, see, that was
on the number.
that was the pre T9.
Okay.
The T9 was the one that would try to guess what you were typing as you wrote.
Oh.
Do you kind of know what I'm talking about?
I had.
Those phones were pretty. Maybe it was just one thumb.
Yeah, I had a Motorola flip phone that had to do it with. It was like the 1, the 1 through 9 plus 0.
Yeah.
And then I also had one which was a flip phone that you could flip up, and you had like a full keyboard.
I had
and that
was
like a QWERTY, and I could do that much faster. And then I moved on to an iPhone afterwards.
The Droid 4 was my first smartphone, which had a full, not mechanical, but a full physical keyboard with it, which is why I got it. But it is funny to me, though, because if you have a preference to what the GPS is telling you to do, then I use my GPS constantly, partially because Google will tell me if there's speed traps or a camera or any of that stuff. So if
construction stuff. Yeah,
it just will give me because like I have my usual route home from work. But if I put it in and it's like, no, you need to take Lakeshore Drive all the way home because your route is f***ed up right now, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll do that instead. Oh, there's a speed trap coming up? Oh, okay, well, I'll lay off, And so I just kind of use it as a gentle suggestion of what it thinks that I should do, but I still will make up my own mind. But my mom is like angry at it and will be like, why is it telling me to take 88? I'm pretty sure I don't need to I'm just going to stay on Butterfield. And I'm just like, Butterfield. Just whatever you wanted. It'll if you stay on Butterfield, it'll just be like, oh, okay. Continue on Butterfield Road for the next 5 miles.
Or you can turn right here and get onto 88.
Yes. And it's just like, it's okay.
Or the next block over, you can turn right and get onto 80. Whenever you like, ma'am.
Yeah, but then
it's your choice.
But then she gets mad that it like continues to suggest her taking the other route. She's like,
she's offended by it.
She's offended by the suggestions, and it just always humors me because I was sitting in the back seat. My mother and my great.
Is this like an Uber for you?
No, it was because my mom had to. My mom, well, I don't want to get too deep into this, but she wants to drive. And then my great aunt is 80 years old. So she's in the passenger side because it's easier. I can help her get in and close the door. So I'm in the back seat, like I'm 12, sitting there like this. And it's like
Gendo Akari.
And it's like, turn here. And my mom's like, why is it telling me to turn here? I don't think that I should. Oh, well, now we missed it. And I'm like, and then my aunt is like, I don't think I've ever turned there to get back to my apartment. And I was like, I don't know. And the GPS is like, do a U-turn as soon as you get to.
So you guys were taking her back to her apartment?
Yeah, my great aunt was in.
So why is your mom using GPS? Wouldn't she know how to get there? Or is she kind of like.
It was kind of a vague. She was at a rehab place. This is like extra details that don't matter. But it's just like using to get back from this rehab. She had hip surgery, blah, 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 blah. Point is, boomers hate GPS and have like a deep resentment for the computer telling them what to do.
Yeah. Also because they can't argue back at the person and the person won't get back to them.
They're used to the arguing back and forth.
Yeah. Especially with the kids.
Yeah. Dev Shah, nice, respectable, I believe, Indian young man. 8th grader, so 13, 14 years old. Won the National Spelling Bee, $50,000 for being able to spell the word. Hold on.
Smile.
The word is... Are you ready? This is for $50,000. Samophile.
Samophile?
Would you like me to use it in a sentence?
Yes.
When my mother finished college, she became a Samophile.
I know what the rest of the word, like,
Do you want
I know
a
what the second and third. Yeah, yes. May I have the definition?
Actually, hold on a second. I thought that would be easier to find. It means a
Lover of something.
Oh, I totally used it wrong.
Oh.
I should have said my mother spent her college career studying samophiles. The word means an organism that thrives in sandy soils. I read an erroneous article previously, apparently.
Oh. My mother's biology thesis was on
samophiles.
Something like that. I know what the second and third syllables are probably going to be spelled like. That's the first one.
It's the first one. Well, I mean, hey,
can I have the country of the language of origin, please?
What's interesting to me is that I can't find. Usually, that there's like a Merriam-Webster definition for it, which
when they say Webster's dictionary, do they refer to like Webster by himself or like Webster, like Merriam-Webster's dictionary?
Merriam-Webster dictionary. This is I can't find this.
I'll go on a limb. Samophile. SAEMOPHILE. Samophile.
Good guess.
Okay.
It's that first syllable that really tripped you up.
Yeah.
PSA. MM. OPHILE.
Okay. 2 M's. Yeah, I did not see the P.
I don't think I would have gotten the P. I think I would have gotten SAMMOPHILE.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, thinking samophilia, it's samophile. So samophilia. I think I would have been able to. Hindsight is 20/20. I think I would have been able to extrapolate that. I don't think I could clearly see f***ing up the P on that. But
I had to spell the word. I think I had one. We did like a spelling thing in 8th grade, and I got the word chauffeur. I'm like, fuck.
CHAEUFFER. Let's see. I'm not going to cheat. CHAEUFFER. Damn it. What did I get? AU.
AU, and then there's a U after the E. But for like a 13, 14-year-old in 8th grade, it's like, how many times have I ever seen the word chauffeur written out?
Yeah.
And how many times have I ever used it?
No.
You know? And I was just like, French.
Yeah, I put the E in the wrong place. Damn it. Curses.
Dang it.
There goes the $50,000.
Oh, gosh.